All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chang podcast. I can't believe it, but we're already at episode 30, featuring Sphinx, 2iqsphinx. Derek, he's going to introduce himself, by the way, so keep that in mind. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. How's it going?
Not bad, not bad. Do I have to introduce myself now?
No, not yet, not yet.
Okay.
So, guys, on the top right, you can see the panel where you see Sphinx's logo, and then on the bottom right, there's my Instagram handle and then Sphinx's Twitch handle. There will be two different commands for this podcast. The first one is !podcast, and it will give you a brief summary of why I do these. In short, it's a way for me to get to know my friends on a more personal level. We're going to learn about their life experiences, whatever they have to say. And please use !guest to drop Sphinx a follow on Twitch. He hasn't been streaming actively, but he does stream and he has content, so do drop him a follow. He's a homie. Thank you, Bandy. Thank you, Bandy, for posting those links. And welcome in, Linda. Podcast time. Okay, let's start things off with a brief introduction about yourself, including some hobbies and interests.
Hobbies and interests. Okay. I'm 2iqsphinx. My name is Derek. You can call me whatever you want. Ash calls me William. There's Day Day. I have a lot of nicknames. Let's see. Hobbies. Well, I live on Twitch and Discord like everyone else. I play a lot of first-person shooters, and recently I've been playing a lot of Wizard 101. If anyone wants to join, feel free. Let's see. I like sports, but like that's if I go outside. Yeah, that's about it. Play a lot of games.
For sure. So, tell us where you're from and what the city's like.
Where I'm from Jersey. I live in Union City. Basically really close to New York. So if there's anything I want to do, I just hop on a bus to New York. Other than that, Jersey's pretty boring. Nothing really
Okay.
to do around here. But there's a lot of like nice delis.
Let's talk about your personality. How would you describe yourself as a person?
Oh wait a minute. One sec.
No problem. What's up, Lex? Thank you for the lurk, Mango.
Alright. So if anyone does the 16 personality thing, I'm an ISFP. Don't know what that means. I'm pretty introverted, but I have my time as being an extrovert. I like to do things on the whim, but at the same time I like a little bit of planning. So like at least an outline, and then from that outline you just like kind of branch off to whatever you see fit. Other than that, personality. Yeah, that's about it.
For sure, no worries. So you said you consider yourself more of an introvert. Got it? ISF. Okay, let's talk about the very beginnings of your life, your childhood. So give us an overview of what that was like. Feel free to tell us stories or give us details about, what you did.
Childhood. Well, I didn't really have much of a childhood because, like, as a kid, my parents were pretty strict. So, like, everyone's saying, like, they watch a lot of SpongeBob, stuff like that. I had, like, Clifford the Big Red Dog, Cyber Chase, Dragon Tales, whatever was on, like, NBC. And I watched a lot of NBC News. Very, very not interesting. But other than that, childhood stories. I don't really have much. It was just basically going to school, getting grades, going to school, studying, getting good grades, and then around sixth grade, I would no, fourth grade, fourth grade.
Mhm.
Around fourth grade, my cousin actually came to study in the U.S. for a little bit,
From where?
from China, and then because he went to an exchange school, so he already knew how to speak English and everything like that. I was pretty good at it. Um, uh, that's when I got into Wizard 101, and that's when I started gaming. So it was like Wizard 101 first, and then we played a lot. We played a lot of Wizard 101 together, and then after that, that was like the start of my gaming. And then after that, like he had like a laptop, and then I would use my dad's laptop to play Wizard 101, to play Maple Story. Um, I don't know if anyone remembers, but there was like a Maple Story spin-off called Wonder King. We played a lot of that. And then from there I just started playing a lot more games. And then that's like 2 3 years later is when I got into Halo, which was my first person shooter on the original Xbox. And then yeah, from there I fell in love with first person shooters, and I just kept on playing from there.
Nice. Okay, so were you born and raised in Jersey your entire life?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was born in the suburbs of Jersey. Wait, actually, was I? No, I was born in Binghamton, New Jersey. If anyone knows where that is, but we moved to the suburbs and when I was like 1, and that's basically where I lived my entire life until recently. I came to Union City, Jersey.
So what's your ethnic background and what do you speak at home?
I am Chinese at home. We speak Chinglish, so a little bit of mixed Chinese and English
Mhm.
together. Um, Most of the time I'll speak English. I think. Well, I think it's like 50-50 with my parents. I'd speak like sometimes English, sometimes Chinese, because like how like when you live in like an bilingual household, there are some terms that you don't know in English, but you know in the other language, so you have to say it like that. So like, yeah.
Okay. Do you also have
Oh
siblings?
yeah. No wait, is Binghamton upstate New York? I was either raised in New York or born in New York or New Jersey. Either way, East Coast. I have one sister. She is 6.5 years older than me.
Oh, older.
Yeah.
All right. So what was your relationship like with your parents and sister back then and versus now?
Mm, I've always had like a good relationship with my sister. We never really had any like sibling squabbles. I'd say. Um, if anything, it was like whenever I got yelled at, she would defend me and stuff like that. Um, with my parents, they used to be pretty strict, but now it's like they've adapted to the not as being as strict and just letting me do what I do,
Mhm.
and just supporting me, and like at least, and also like checking up on me, making sure I'm like still keeping up with what I said and stuff like that. Um, so I'd say relationship's pretty good with my parents and my sister. I live with my sister right now.
Okay.
Hmm.
So how did your family handle discipline specifically back then when you acted out?
Well, that's the thing. I wasn't really a kid to act out. I just take it. Cause like I think when I was around maybe like 10 years old, um, like our grandparents started like moving here,
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of stress on my parents, and like I from then on I really didn't act out because like there was nothing to act out on basically. Like my main goal was just to make sure I didn't cause them like any more stress than I had to, because they already had enough on their plates with the grandparents and everything like that. And my grandparents can be pretty demanding
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the time. So yeah, I didn't really act out. Really, the only thing would be when I did act out, it would just be normal, like just yelling, um, a lot of yelling. House would be filled with yells sometimes. It would be like either my parents arguing, my sister arguing with my parents,
Yeah.
or they're yelling at me. There was just a lot of yelling during that time, and it was just I pushed it away as much as I could. So yeah.
Specifically in your area, what is the diversity like with the people?
A lot of Mexicans, a lot of Cubans.
So you're a minority?
Mm-hmm. There's like, so around Union City is like that, but like if you drive like 15 minutes up northwest, if you go to like the Palisades area or like the Fort Lee area, there's a lot of Koreans. So there's a lot of good Korean food there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your school life.
Ooh.
So give us an overview of what it was like during your elementary years and then follow it up with your middle school years and high school. Based on what you say, I'll be asking you specific questions.
Okay. Let's see. Elementary school, I was the teacher's pet, goody two shoes, always A, yada yada, doing homework on time, everything. Not a lot of, not too many friends. I was like the nerd, if you will. So where I lived, it was like a community, and there's like houses next to each other, and then
Yep.
the two houses next to me, like one on the right and then two on the right, were also like they're like family friends, and the kids were the same age as me, so like we grew up together, and like we were always friends. Played a lot. It would be like it was funny because so one of them is the girl right next to me, so she didn't really play outside a lot, but the one two houses away from me was a guy. His name was Johnny, or is Johnny, not was Johnny. And as a kid, like, because my parents were stricter than his, uh, what happened was I would like either use Google Call and call him, or like when my parents weren't looking, I used the home phone and call him and be like, "Yo, can you come over and ask me out to play?" Because like that's the only way I would ever be able to go out to play.
Wow.
So like he would do that a lot, and then I would go out, play either basketball, football with kids around the community, or no one was free. I mean, sometimes we played soccer. If no one was free, he had these bamboo sticks in his garage, and so we were already really into anime at that time. So we would just like pretend fight and just sword fight with bamboo sticks. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
got a lot of injuries from that, but you know, kids. And then same thing, same thing around for middle school. Honestly, I was more of like just studying, getting grades and stuff like that. Um, but so he moved away from going into middle school, so he wasn't there for the entirety of middle school or high school.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, It was pretty, honestly, for me, it was pretty difficult fitting in. Like, I like to have like my group of people that I'm comfortable with, but like going into middle school, it was like I had to create that group again because like I really had that group through my friend because he was more of the social person, and then so it was a lot harder for me to get more friends. But I mean, eventually it happened. Um, where I grew up, there was a lot of Indians, so like basically my whole friend group was Indians, but they're all pretty chill, I'd say. Um, this academic part would probably be the same. Still got good grades, still did what I had to do in middle school. Uh, I was more known as the smart kid. Everyone just copied homework off of right outside of class. Be like, yo, just do homework. I just give it my homework because, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Going into high school is where I started kind of going crazy. My grades kind of dropped. Um, I was like more of like a C student now, and like that got my parents worried. 100%. I was just doing stupid things as a high schooler. I think because about the high school time is when my family situation got a lot better, a lot less yelling.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I think that's when they just starting to worry about me a lot more because of my grades and things like that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I basically went through high school like I had like a quarter of being bad, a quarter of being good, a quarter of being bad, a quarter of being good, and
Mm-hmm.
then like somehow I was able to get like AP classes, so that boosted my GPA up a little bit more. Mm, I was able to end high school with like a 3.6, I think, something like that. And then if anyone knows the state school of New Jersey, I got into Rutgers. Um, high school was just a blur, honestly. It was like kind of rebelling at the same time, still trying to get past high school. And then I got into college, and then that's when the shit show started.
Oh, we'll talk
So,
about that after. We'll talk about college right after.
okay. But yeah, that's about the progression of my school.
So, other than gaming,
Hmm.
um, what specific clubs, activities, and sports were you involved with?
Mm. So middle school is when I started tennis. Um, I was really into tennis at that time. Took a lot of tennis lessons. Um, played a lot of tennis. I was on the tennis team for middle school as well. I had band. I played the clarinet throughout middle school. Um, so clarinet and tennis were basically the main extracurricular I did in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think high school. Um, so I quit tennis right after middle school ended. Because my elbow was destroying me. So I was like, yeah, it's probably not it, right? So I switched to volleyball.
Nice.
So
Okay.
from freshman to sophomore, I played volleyball. Um, but from that, I got a lot of injuries. I never broke any bones, but I did tear both my ligaments in my left ankle. Almost strained my right ankle ligament. Got tendonitis on both knees because I kept on landing on them. Um, just injury after injury. And then the bad thing was I never let my injuries heal. So like every time I'd walk, every time I'd like run, sit for long periods of time, my knees would hurt, my ankles would hurt. So my parents was like, okay, yeah, just stop volleyball. And so after that, the main thing I could do was basically swimming, because swimming would help with like kind of getting back on track with like your muscles and everything, kind of not putting pressure on them, but at the same time exercising them so they like do what they normally would do and grow normally. So I got into swimming. I swam junior year and then senior year. But I did do band freshman year. But I couldn't do marching band for obvious reasons. My legs wouldn't have made it. So I just did normal band freshman year. I played the clarinet first, but the thing was, I think I was second chair clarinet, but my band director was like, okay, I we need French horns, so because clarinet was the biggest section, so she just asked for volunteers to switch to French horn, and so three of my friends just volunteered. Me and two other of my friends volunteered, and then we switched to French horn. And from then, I think I was like, um, I regret switching to French horn because it was just not what I was used to for going from reed instrument to brass. So I was like, can I switch back to clarinet? And then they're like, no, you can't because we need French horn. And I was like, okay, I'm out. And then I stopped band after freshman year.
So, band, tennis, volleyball. Those are like the main things.
Band, tennis, volleyball, swimming.
I mean, yeah.
And then there was more. On Sunday, up until ninth grade, we had I had Chinese school.
Oh.
So basically, I'd had school all throughout the week, have Saturday off, and then Chinese school, right? So in Chinese school, I did a lot of volleyball and track, and we would have like these track meets for Chinese school. Those were always really fun. But yeah, I did a lot of sprinting for that. I was more of the 100-meter, 200-meter. So yeah. So band, tennis, volleyball, swimming, track.
Talk about Chinese school briefly. Was this something that your parents like just put you into?
Yeah, I didn't really have a choice. Had to go through Chinese school. The good thing was it ended when high school started, so I guess the creators were like, yeah, we understand that once you get to high school, it gets more intense. So they stopped Chinese school like ninth grade. So when you graduate, you just take a test called the HSK, and if you pass, you pass. If you don't, then you have to retake ninth grade Chinese. But that's only if you pay, right? If you don't pay, then you don't have to do it anymore. It's not like requirement, but it's just like all of the Chinese families are like, go do it, pass it.
So, what was your favorite memory of Chinese school?
um I would say the track meets, but like technically they weren't part of Chinese school, so I mean it was an event hosted by them. But track meets were always really fun. We would like, because our Chinese school was like our kind of city, like the Plainsboro city. Um, and then there'd be other places like Philly, other Chinese schools under the same name would come to go to wherever Chinese school that was hosting the track meet was, and then we just like compete against each other. Yeah, our Chinese school was the best. We always won. Other than that, I really like the volleyball sessions. Eventually, I started teaching kids volleyball, so yeah, that was a good experience being able to teach people something you like.
Okay, so let's briefly talk about band. How'd you get into that? And also talk about your favorite memory or experience from that.
Band. Well, I got into band through my parents
Oh.
because they wanted me to play an instrument. At
Hmm.
first, it was piano, but like they got me piano tutors. They were like, "Do piano, practice piano," but like I just had no interest in piano whatsoever, and I was just not good at it either. I was probably not, thinking back on it. I was probably not good at it because I never really put any effort into it. I just did not like it. Half of it was probably because I was forced to do it, but mm. um, so they were like, okay, just join band at school, and I was like, oh, sure. So they let me choose the instrument. And I was like, clarinet seemed cool. I was gonna do the sax, but then I was like, that's a lot of work carrying the sax from home to school, back to home, and the clarinet was like a lot smaller,
Hmm.
and the keys were a lot closer together. So I was like, yeah, I'll do the clarinet. And yeah, that's how I started clarinet. And then eventually, like, I actually kind of liked it. So um because I was doing pretty good at it, I think. So we had three levels. It was like the regular band, and then advanced band, and then it was like wind ensemble, I think. And I got into wind ensemble like I would say it was either, I think it was seventh grade. So I was in the wind ensemble for 2 years, seventh grade and eighth grade, and then I was first clarinet for that. So I was like, yeah, I like it. So I kept doing it up until high school. I forgot to mention I was also in choir in middle school.
Oh.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but like never have any like confidence in myself much. So I always don't like my own voice. I don't like my singing. So I was like, I'm just gonna do regular choir where you don't have any. So we had the regular choir, and then we had vocal ensemble. Right, vocal ensemble was like the higher. You have to audition in to get in, and then I think one day my choir teacher was like, because I was a quote unquote bass at that time, right? And they were lacking basses in vocal ensemble. So he was like, "Hey yo, join vocal ensemble. Audition for me right now." And then I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he's like, "Sing the part right now in the choir, in the regular choir." And I sang it, and he's like, "All right, okay, you're good." And I got into vocal ensemble. So that was
Hmm.
eighth grade. It was pretty fun, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite memory? I don't really have one. I think it was. Oh, my favorite memory was. It was more of accomplishment in from sixth to seventh grade. So sixth grade, I was in the regular choir, and then seventh grade, I mean regular band, and then seventh grade, I got into wind ensemble. I think that was probably my favorite part, getting into wind ensemble.
Yeah.
It was just like an accomplishment. And then from that, seventh and eighth grade, I was in the pit for the play for the drama class.
Hmm.
So like I played all the songs for that too. It was pretty cool, pretty cool.
See, I see. So, do you not sing, or what? You like to sing on your free time?
I like to sing by myself, but like I don't like singing in front of other people.
Has
Zero confidence.
has anyone specifically in chat ever heard you sing?
Kisala. That's about it.
I need to hear Sala's feedback. Okay, okay. It's okay, not to put you on the spot, but I mean, if you're not comfortable with it, it's cool, it's cool.
I think eventually I'll sing on stream or sing in the Discord. Eventually.
So, to be clear, not at the end of this podcast.
No, I'm good. Okay, we'll see. If I do though, I'm turning off my camera.
Okay. Yeah, that's
only
actually fair.
that's only if I do.
Huh.
Vote? Hell nah! Everyone
Everyone's gonna say
sing,
yes.
sing.
Okay. Let's talk about how you got into tennis, and then same thing. Your favorite memory from that.
Tennis. Actually, I have no idea how I got into tennis. I just remember just really liking it, and then I think, um, how to get into tennis. The only thing I can really remember was our high school, when I was in middle school, right? Our high school was like the closest school to me, and like we would always drive by the high school, and the tennis courts were always right there.
Mhm.
And I just knew I wanted to play sports, so I was like, might as well try out tennis because I always see people play it, and I think that's how I got into tennis. There was no like real click that like I was like, okay, I really want to play tennis. It wasn't specifically tennis. It was just like it was there. The track was in the back. The tennis was like closer to the road. So I was like, I can try out tennis. Um, so from then on, got a racket, started practicing tennis. Really liked it because it was like a sport with no teamwork, unless you were
Mhm.
playing doubles, right? But like
Yeah.
in the beginning, it was like all singles. So it was like I really didn't have anyone else to rely on besides me, so I had to do it myself. Um, so yeah, that's how I got into tennis. Um, then I started playing more and more, and then in middle school, I joined the tennis team. And well, I mean, outside of school, I did tennis like clubs, right? Um,
Yeah.
had went for lessons, played against other people. Never really did a tournament, but like I was invited to, but then it was always like, is it really worth like I'm just playing tennis for fun at this point? Like, at that time I was like, would it affect my school? So I was like, let's just not do that. Um, so I just played tennis for fun, and then I joined the team in middle school, and I think it was like regular, and then 7th grade JV, 8th grade varsity. Just a regular progression. Favorite memory playing tennis. I met a really good friend playing tennis. He was my dual partner in JV and varsity, so we were the first doubles for both.
Mhm.
And then I think that's when I really started liking teamwork and playing like a support role in things. Cause like he was one on one, he was better than me, right? But like as a doubles, we would like support each other, and I think I really like doing like helping people do better, right? So I think that's I would say my favorite memory. It was pretty cool feeling.
Yeah. Individually, how good were you?
I think I was pretty average. Um, I played I played first singles a few times in JV when the first singles was out, because second singles never wanted to play singles, so they moved me up to first singles
Mm-hmm.
because my partner was like, yeah, no, I'm not playing singles. So through two people, they moved me up to first singles. So I think I was decent. I won a few. Um, I was never really good at like power shots because like I would always put too much power and they would go out. So I was more of a player that like everyone hated. Um, uh, like op players, like the only op players, or like if anyone plays Apex, the charge rifle players. Because like I would kind of make the opponent run a lot more, and because I was really good at slicing the ball. If anyone doesn't know what that
Yeah.
is, it's like putting backspin on the ball, like landing near the net, bouncing back to the net, stuff like that. Um, so I think I was pretty decent in terms of skill. Probably not as skillful as a lot of people, but in terms of like control, I was decent. Probably better than average. So I was able to win a few.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, next up, volleyball. Talk about your transition to volleyball and your experiences in that, aside from the injuries, because I'm sure there was a lot.
Yeah. But volleyball probably was my favorite out of all of them. I really liked volleyball, but like I'm 5'8", so or 5'7", 5'8". I like to round up to 5'8". But yeah, I wasn't as tall. So freshman year, I played like right side hitter. Um, and like my vertical at that time was pretty good. Like I was able to like touch the rim on basketball
Wait, you were
nets.
5'7", 5'8" as a freshman?
Yeah,
Wow,
I never grew after freshman year.
that's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, I had an early growth spurt,
Hmm.
probably because I drank a lot of milk. But then it like just did not grow after that. I was like, whatever. But yeah, I was a hitter, and then I made varsity, and I was like, I was basically moved to libero. If anyone doesn't know what that is, it's like the dude who wears the different color jersey, and he's always in the back line, like diving for stuff, like basically like the defense expert. Um, uh, yeah,
During your freshman year, you were in varsity?
no, freshman year I was in regular, and then I
Okay.
was moved to varsity. I played some JV games in freshman year, and then um, sophomore year I was moved to varsity. Yeah, and then um, we didn't do that well. Our team wasn't the best, but it was fun nonetheless. It was just that our coach wasn't. Our coach was the soccer coach, and he played a lot of soccer, but nobody wanted to coach volleyball, so he came in here, and so he was like, he didn't understand volleyball. He all he knew is that we were losing, and he would just yell at us, yell at us, yell at us, without like actually trying to understand volleyball. So everyone on the team was just like, I think a good after sophomore year, a good portion of like probably like 75% of my year's players quit the volleyball team
Wow.
because of that.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah. Um, so for volleyball, I was on the school team. I was on a club team as well. So the club team, I stayed the outside hitter, and that's also where I got all my injuries from, because I was short. I would, jump up, hit the ball, but I would land later. Like I'd jump up first, but I'd land later because I was able to reach the height, but like it took me longer to hit the ground. So a
Yeah.
lot of times, because it's like high school, right? People still make a lot of mistakes at the net, and like a lot of times the blockers. So basically, when you play volleyball and you're blocking, when you land, you're not allowed to land on the other side of the court under the net, because it causes a lot of injuries, right?
Mhm.
But a lot of times they would land underneath on the other side of the net onto our side,
Yeah.
and basically how I strained my right ligament toward two of my left ones was because I landed on their foot and it just rolled my ankle. And then libero is also where I got a lot of my knee injuries, because I dive for balls and slam my knee on the ground.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Wow.
I think the whole part of playing volleyball, I just really enjoyed playing volleyball as a team sport. Um, I think I just really enjoyed that. There's no like specific favorite moment
Mhm.
playing volleyball. It was just a really fun experience.
How good was your team and how good were you individually, would you say, during that time?
I think I was pretty good individually. I think volleyball, I was actually pretty good at it. Um, as much as I didn't like playing libero and like receiving balls and stuff like that, I was pretty decent at it. Received a lot of them. Eventually, I accepted that as the years like we went up in level in volleyball, I understood that like I can't hit over these people. Like freshman year, it would be like short people in the front, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually they just grew taller, or the level went up, and then people were taller. Like there were already people like 6 feet in high school, and I was like, yeah, I can't hit over him because like he just goes like this, and he's already taller
Yeah.
than me, you know. So it's like it was sad because I was short, but I fit into my role and enjoyed it. So,
Mhm.
what was the question again?
Well, this was just summing up your volleyball experience and stuff, so
Oh, yeah,
fine.
that was fun. I
All
love
right, and
volleyball.
then and it was also like how good your team was.
Oh, how good my team was. Yeah, we weren't good. Like individually, we were probably okay, but like it wasn't like team wise, we never really had a real practice. Like we needed a coach to
I
teach
see.
us teamwork, but like didn't really happen. So like we would lose against teams that we shouldn't have lost against, and we would like win against teams but win by barely a little bit when we should have like wiped them out. So it's like, you know.
Yeah. Let's go talk about swimming. What do you have to say about that?
So my parents forced me into swimming. It was not fun at first because my stamina is just not good. I'm more of a sprinter kind of guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the beginning, it was just so painful swimming long distances for practice because it was like you had to swim laps on laps and laps and laps and laps and laps and laps. It was just like, oh my god, it was horrible. It was like I would every time because I started swimming in high school, right? So I was basically playing catch up with everyone else swimming for years, and I would just be like, after every practice, it would be like I was the only one just like trying to catch their breath, sounding like an old man, like, and like everyone would be like, "You good, bro?" I'm like, "No, I'm not good." It's just, it was pretty demoralizing in the beginning, but after getting used to it, it was honestly pretty fun because like it was made fun by um the people I swam with. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like the the swimming team community was a lot better than the volleyball team community. So it was like a lot more fun to hang out with them, swim with them. So yeah, our swim team was decent. Not the best, not the worst, just in the middle. Um, my main strokes was fly and free. So I would do the 100 fly, 100 free, 55, 50 free.
Yeah. Okay, so that was swimming, and how long did you say you did swimming for, and how'd you get out of that?
2 years. It was just for the team on junior and senior year.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Mhm. And then I got out of it. I didn't really get out of it. I still swim as an exercise thing per se, but like I just never continued being on the team for
Mhm.
like college or anything.
Were you involved with like other curricular activities, clubs specifically?
Not really. It was more of a sports
Okay.
oriented.
So based on everything you've done in high school, what was your stereotype? What kind of kid were you known as?
The smart kid.
The smart kid.
Yeah, like even though my grades weren't as good, I like I was able to understand everything. It was just I didn't put enough effort into it. Um, Main downfalls were probably like homework and like surprise quizzes and stuff like that. Um,
Hmm.
so like I was still considered the smart kid, but yeah, that's about it.
All right. So have you personally ever encountered any sort of bullying in your life?
Personally encountered any sort of bullying? Nah, I try to just stay away from that stuff. I would say the closest encountering would probably be like seeing someone get bullied.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like at first, I would kind of just stand there and not do any, like just see it and walk away, you know. But after that, I was like, is it really worth it to like stand there and walk, like just see it and walk away if it happens? So like, I would just, go up say like, hey yo, even if I didn't know the kid, I'd just be like, yo, you're late to class or something like. Act like I knew the kid, get him out of the situation. Done deal.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just try to stay away from that because the people who did the bullying just piss me off, and I never really want to like talk to them and stuff like that. So never friends with any bullies. Yeah, I just hated it overall. I never understood why people bully people, but
Mm-hmm.
that's just me.
Okay. Aside from bullying, have you ever gotten into like a physical fight or altercation?
Um, Out of school, yes. In school, no. But out
Story.
of school, it wasn't really much of a story. I was just having an argument with a friend, and then like things escalated, punches were thrown, um, like we were tackling each other. I tackled him into a wall. The wall
Jeez.
broke. Um, yeah, it was like during like a hangout with a lot of friends watching, and then after that we were just like done, done. We just had to fight it out, I guess. But yeah, definitely there was fighting outside of school, but in school there I personally didn't fight in school, but one funny story was like two people were fighting in school during lunchtime, during my lunchtime, and everyone was like they were crowding the lines and everything, and I was pissed off. So I was like, "What is going on?" So I went to go what was happening, and like all of a sudden, I just see the principal on one side, another teacher on another side, the two students fighting, and the principal walked up, was like, "Okay, you two gotta stop," and both of them just like socked the principal in the one in the right cheek, one in the left eye, and then this dude got literally when I say thrown, like he was he was like in the air, like lying down in the air, like nothing was touching the ground. This man flew, and I was like, what?
Holy.
And then there was like videos going around. I was crying, like just dead crying because nobody liked the principal. You know, he was
Mhm.
an asshole. So, as much as I hated the kids, I also hated the principal. So I was like, that was a good time. That was that was a good lunch. That was a great lunch. I saw that. That was a great lunch.
Dang, okay. There you go. So let's transition to your school life after high school. So where'd you
Mhm.
go and what's it been like?
So I went to Rutgers University, specifically RBS, Rutgers Business School, because I was majoring in business.
Hmm.
And the first year was just not good. Um, I wasn't focused in school. I wasn't really going to classes. I got I passed with the C. There's one writing class I do called expository writing. Everyone failed that. I failed that. Somehow passed calc. It was just like at that time I had no motivation to do it, and I was like being a child, doing stupid things. Um, Hanging out with the wrong people. Uh, Dip my toe into drugs like that, and I was like, okay, yeah, the freshman year was just good.
Hmm.
After freshman year, I was like, I need a break. I need a reset. I need to just not do this like all my years. So I took a gap that was supposed to be 1 year, turned out to be like 2 years. Last year I was gonna start, but COVID and everything. So I just got a job instead. Worked at Staples for a little bit. So I really only had 1 year, and
Yeah.
then like on the side I've been like kind of getting credits from um, my community college, so I
Hmm.
can keep up somewhat. And still doing business, still doing supply chain management, and then I fully dropped recently when I started my cybersecurity um, boot camp. So I think I have enough credits to be a junior, but
Hmm.
to be a senior. I finished my junior year, but um, yeah, it was a struggle, I'd say, because like during this whole time, I was like, I just didn't know what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
Like it was just very up in the air. I was in like this gray area where I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Um, I'm just living day by day, trying to get through. But I saw this boot camp thing, and I was like, I'm just gonna give it a go, and been doing decent in this. So it's pretty nice. Finally have a direction to go. You know?
So this cybersecurity bootcamp thing is more towards like a future work experience stuff? Not,
Uh,
or is it more of like a school thing?
it's more of a school thing actually.
Okay.
It's like associated with Hacker U University and JIT, but we don't get any credits from it. It's basically like class after class after class after class. Like once you finish a class, it starts another class. That's why it's called boot camp. So it's like it's either pass fail. You pass the class, you move on. You fail, you retake. Uh, if you pass the retake, move on. You know. So it's like uh, you just keep on going. It's nonstop, 10 months. It ends in end of February, early March. So
Hmm. It's okay. Let's talk about your overall work experience. So you could talk about very first one, you could tell stories, and then just move on from there. Give us a timeline.
work experience, including volunteer or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so volunteer. I think I started around 7th grade, 6th grade. Teaching tennis and volleyball. I teach a lot of little kids how to play. Start off playing tennis, start off playing volleyball in Chinese school for volleyball, and then tennis was our community thing where um, teach little kids how to start up playing tennis if they really wanted to. I did that for like 2 years, and then during that time, 7th grade is when I started this inter-exchange foundation where kids came from China to like experience American culture, I guess, learn about it more. And it was also an opportunity for them to like kind of get associated with America to see if they want to come over here to study and stuff like that. So it was kind of like a thing where they rented out it was a private college, so this campus was small. And then basically we'd like do translating for them, bring them around like for our area it was like the tri-state area, also as well as showing them like Harvard and MIT, showing them around there, showing them around New York, down to Washington, or along the East Coast, basically getting them like kind of just like it's kind of like a fun camp for them as well as a learning camp where they came here, they can buy stuff, experience what it's like to live here, experience the culture here. They also had like classes where we would sometimes translate for them, but we tried not to, so that we basically told them to like try your best to understand. If you really don't understand, then we can help you, you know. So it was like a learning thing for the Chinese kids around middle school age, sometimes high school. They came over, gave them a tour around here, and then we sent them off to the West Coast where they had one over there as well. I did that for 2 years. It was honestly pretty so what I was in charge of was mostly the New York trip.
Mm-hmm.
That was absolute hell. Because I'm pretty sure everyone's pretty familiar with New York, how everyone's just walking around, and being in a group is not the best. Like you can have like a group of 5 people, a group of friends where everyone knows where they're going, and it's just like it goes smoothly, right? But the problem was like I would take 2 groups to New York at the same time, and each group would have like 20 people. So I would be trying to direct 40 Chinese little kid tourists around New York City, making sure none of them were lost. And it was just like the most stress I felt in my life. Like there was this one time where we stopped at Rockefeller Center, and under Rockefeller Center there's an underground area. And I was most nervous about that area because we went there to take a break. Also, we stopped at Rockefeller for like 30 minutes to shop, and then we told everyone to like buddy up at least 3 people in a group, so that one person can contact the teacher if need be, so that we can go get them if they get lost or anything like that, right? So we gave them like 2 hours to shop and do whatever they needed to do, have fun around Rockefeller Center. 2 hours came up, finished, and we were missing 3 kids from 3 different groups. And I was like, okay, so I was trying to find out where they were. Right? I was asking the group, I'm like, where would you last see them? Like, what happened? How'd you get separated? And they're like, oh, they just left to go with their friends. I'm like, so you just let that happen. We said 3 groups, and you stay with your group no matter what. So that's why you guys could choose your groups. So why didn't they choose a group themselves, right? So I spent the next hour. So we had 2 guides. I was the main guide, and then my friend was the other guide. So they just continued going. I spent the next 2 hours running around Rockefeller Center and around just rounding up these groups, these 3 kids,
Yeah.
and the 3 kids never found each other. They were never together. They were just 3 separate
Oh my
places
gosh.
in Rockefeller Center, and like you would think like you don't see anyone around, you're like, oh no, I'm fucked, right?
Mm-hmm.
These 3 kids were literally still shopping, having the time of their lives, losing my mind because I thought like 3 children were missing, and I was like, holy shit. And I think I ran around for 2 hours. I found the first 2 relatively easily, but the third one was like 5 blocks down, and I was like, why are you here? And then they're like, oh, there's a shop over here. I looked on Google Maps. I was like, dude, the meetup time was 2 hours ago. And
Oh my...
yeah, I think that was probably the worst experience, but experience is experience.
How old were you at this time when you were doing that?
I don't remember. I think 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, so the adults like trusted you guys to like walk around with all those kids?
The adults they had chaperones too, but the adults the teachers were no help, because it's kind of like the Chinese thing where people come and then like the whole reason the adults come is so they can buy things and send back to like their relatives in China, right?
Yeah.
And like most of the teachers and chaperones were like that, so they expected to be helped as well, right? They expected the special treatment as well. So like we had like once in a while we had like one like responsible adult to come to actually chaperone as well as have fun, right? But most of the time the chaperones that came were all just irresponsible themselves. There was a few chaperones where they made kids buy more luggages so that they can fit their things inside the luggage, and tell the kids to bring it on the plane because their luggage was full and they couldn't bring more than one luggage, so they just passed out the luggage to the kids. And it's just like how can you be so irresponsible as an adult? So it's just like, hey. Yeah, their job was basically to stand at the back and make sure no kids veered off.
Yeah, you could continue.
No, continue about what?
Like
oh wait, the work things.
Yeah,
Okay.
work.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that, and then after that, I got a job at a restaurant as a busboy. Experienced being a busboy for a year or two. I was a busboy, the receptionist, as well as a waiter. All
Wait,
3 of them.
at what age?
Ninth grade, whatever that age was.
You were working at like 14 years old?
Yeah.
Buster and stuff? Wow.
Yeah, it was under the table.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. After that, I stopped working for a little bit. Up until right before the pandemic. Actually, I got a job as like what was it? It was a kind of an insurance kind of job. It was like a middleman for corporate insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to basically kind of evaluating the threat level of natural disasters, stuff like that, to provide a cost for insurance for like a business, right? That was 2020. So last year, in the very beginning of last year. But the job was in China, so I was supposed to move to China.
Wow.
but the COVID happened. So I never moved there. I worked remotely in America a decent amount of time, but in the end, it just couldn't work out much because like the clients were all weird timings. My sleep schedule was horrible because I had to adjust to their time as well as doing the things I needed to do in my time, you know, because China's 12 or 13 hours ahead of us. So adjusting was too like just adjusting was pretty easy, but like just keeping that as my like job and like having to do things around here as well was just not really viable. So I just had to give that one up, that opportunity up. But like they're like, if you ever want to come back, let us know, right? So
Yeah.
that was an experience. That was a whole experience. It was a nice experience learning how corporate insurance area worked as a middleman. If you like kind of calculate what you need to calculate, how to calculate, where to find the data and stuff like that. Other than that, after that, I started working at Staples. So I worked at Staples from like soon after. It was like May of 2020. So I started the other job at Staples, and I stopped at around February of 2021. And then Staples was just hectic. I worked in, we were always understaffed. I would work like part-time. I was a part-time worker working like almost full-time hours. Yeah, nothing really exciting happened in Staples. I did get promoted to supervisor relatively fast, but other than that, after that, I stopped because of the school, and then Staples shut down as well. And then yeah, now I'm here, just doing school.
Wait, so at one point you were willing to move to China for work?
Mm-hmm. I was going to, like, I had everything set up to move.
Like you were just perfectly fine transitioning being in the US to just to China. A big
Well,
leap, isn't it?
it was yeah, it was big, but like it was also an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So um it was nerve-wracking, but at the same time it was like pretty cool because the pay was actually really good considering China. So yeah, I was gonna go there for a little bit because I was only maximum gonna be there
How long?
for a year because
Wow.
after that it was like they would put me to a hire where we actually contact the clients, and then the client base was a lot in America, so they were thinking about like opening up a branch in America as well, so that I would be moved here, but that didn't work out.
Mm-hmm. So in the customer service industries, you said you were like a busser, waiter, receptionist, and even working in Staples.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like any interesting stories, encounters with people? Because I'm sure there must have been a lot of frustrating experiences.
There's a lot of frustrating experience. I think all customer service people just meet up with a lot of frustrating people,
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people understand that. So it's just like I didn't have any over the top frustrating experiences. I just had a lot of funny things. Whereas like people came because I was in the print and marketing, right? It was like people came into the print and marketing department to print a lot of like just very personal things, ranging from like either like health packets about their health, like the results from the doctors,
Mhm.
and like normally that'd be fine, right? You go to the self-serve printer, you do what you need to do, you leave, right?
Yeah.
But like a lot of times I feel like maybe it's also because of the pandemic or something like that, but like I think people are just lonely and they just want to talk to someone, and they just come to Staples, they print it out, and they just a lot of times they just talk to me about their health, and I'm just like, So I learned a lot about a lot of people's health problems. Um, that was very interesting. I didn't know that, but
Mhm.
I guess. And then a lot of people came in to print explicit stuff, and they didn't know how to use a printer, so I printed. And it was like very awkward because
You'd see it.
I would see it, and they know I would see it, and it was just like I try not to make eye contact with them. When I make eye contact with them, it's just like we have a mutual ending that I'm high key judging them,
Huh.
and they just keep on coming back. And so I think after the first time, most of them just came to me because
You already
I'm
know.
I'm so unlucky that like I basically got all. Maybe they were like, okay, because most of the workers were girls, right? Maybe he's like, oh, he's a guy, I'm just gonna ask him to do it for me. And like it was just like I would go to the back, I'm like, why? Why? It's free on the internet. Why are you printing these, bro? And, oh god, it was just very uncomfortable. Every time they come in, I just dreaded working at Staples.
Was it just dudes coming up to you?
Dudes, yeah, a lot of dudes. I would say ranging from 40 to 60 years old.
I see.
No young people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I guess the old fashioned, like it on paper. Very interesting. It's very interesting.
Tell the story. Anything else?
Um, experience the engagement, wedding planning, and the breakup of a couple. So basically, what happened was a couple came in, got engaged, they're all happy, and then we are printing like they're like already planning things. So like printing, like places to get married at, the like venues, what like they wanted, like just printing a lot of like just wedding planning stuff, right? And then one day they came in and they just looked so pissed at each other. And I was like, "Oh, hi, welcome back," right? And then I'm like, "Well, what can I print for you guys today?" And they're like, one person wanted to print details of this venue, another person wanted to print details of another venue, and they just got into a fight right there.
Oh.
So I was like, "How about this? I just print both of them, and
Yeah.
then I'll just charge you guys for one of them, right?" Because like it just seemed like the line was forming, they were arguing,
Yeah.
they didn't want to print both, it was not worth printing both, and I was like, here, I can just do this for you, because at that time I was supervisor, right? So I was like, I can just do this for you, and they're like, okay, thank you, right? And then I think that was the second to last, and then the last time I saw was just one, the guy came in and told me to print letters, and then he gave me the file. I went back, I opened the letter, and it was just explaining to everyone why they broke. And I was like,
Ooh.
so I experienced The whole thing for that from start to finish. From
Wow.
that relationship lasted about like not long. That was funny. But other than that, I think it's just regular customer service Karen.
Mm-hmm.
Hi sushi.
Sushi was good. Okay. How about when you were doing under the table? Like any memories from that? I'm sure that was like a long time ago.
Don't piss off a waiter. Because if you piss off a waiter, they might spit in your food. That's really about it. I think the first time I experienced it, it was like there's just a really disrespectful table, right?
Yeah.
And they were just treating him like horribly. And then he was so done with it. He was like he told me to come over. He's like, yo, Derek, come here. He's like, this food is for them. And then just walked out. And I was like,
Oh.
I'm never pissing off a waiter ever again. Oh, also another thing that people should know: if you want to take food to go, tell them to bring you the packs, and then put you take it to go by yourself. Don't let them pack it up for you, because you never know how dirty it is back there.
Oh, okay. Great advice. There you go.
If you go to an Asian restaurant and you want iced tea, you know they give you tea for free. Just ask for a cup of ice and dump the tea in the cup of ice. Iced tea. That's basically what we do anyway. If people order iced tea. So
Bricks. Need to hydrate there.
I should put my hydrate.
Okay, moving on to the next topics. Let's talk about any of the following that's relative to you. Your party life, events, clubs, raves, all that stuff.
I'm not really a social person. Being around a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
I've only went to one concert. No raves, no clubs. Parties can wait till after. But the concert, Travis Scott, Astroworld, the Newark concert. I went to that one. It was very interesting. Just a lot of smoking, a lot of people on something. It was just the concert was fire, but like the whole it was like I guess it was an experiencing a live concert, but it's just not for me. I realize it's just not for me. I'll go once in a while with friends, but that's about it. It was just too many things going on. Parties, I partied a lot in freshman year. I partied a lot. I drank a lot. But after freshman year, I never partied. I just type of person who like to stay home or like have a little group of friends, drink with them, you know, instead of going to a party with random people and just like random jumping around, random dancing. It's just like you know, I can't do that. Can't do it. I'm too awkward for that shit. That's in terms of party life, my pretty uninteresting. I try to avoid it at all costs now.
Mm-hmm. Any eventful memories at least from the parties back in freshman year?
I was I was like the dad.
Oh, okay.
So the only eventful memories was basically cleaning up everyone else's throw up.
Uh,
There was one time where my friend got way too much to drink and was just on the floor unresponsive. And then like would wake up once in a while, just like, and then so it was actually so the party was over. The frat boys came up and was like, hey yo, can your boy go or not? Cause we gotta close down right now. I was like, bro, he can't go, bro. Can we just stay for a little bit longer? He's like, nah, bro. It's either I call the cops or they're gone, or he's gone, or you like bring him out of here. I think my friend heard cops, literally like sat up immediately, looked up, said, I'm good, and was able to walk out by himself normally and then just collapse the street. And I had to piggyback him all the way back to his dorm. That was one. Another one, I didn't go to the party, but I had to go pick someone. But like my friend called after, and they were like, "Yo, so and so is on the ground, just like unresponsive once in a while." It was the same situation. Like, he would wake up, he would like be going crazy, and then he would all of a sudden just faint, stop breathing, and then like after like 30 seconds, wake up again and go like, right? So we were all freaking out. Didn't help that his girlfriend broke up with him that same day. He had 5-hour energy party, and then he drank a lot, and that's just not a good mix either. And had to drive him to. I chased him around campus first. He almost jumped off the like. So there's these stairs going down, but like, you could jump off all the way to the ground. Because there's basically no like protective railing there. So it's like he almost jumped. I had to yeet him back across so he didn't jump all the way down. Yeah, and then got him to the hospital. That was a very eventful night. I think I chased 3 hours.
You chased him for a few hours?
3 hours. Because he refused like ambulance. Like, I'm gonna call 911. You need to go to the hospital. This is not right. Get your stomach pumped. And he just wasn't listening.
Okay. Yeah. So, what was your first drinking experience like?
My first drinking experience?
And when was this?
Like when I actually got drunk?
No, like your first time drinking.
Oh, first time drinking. My very first time drinking, kid, my uncle gave it to me.
Oh, you're cutting out a bit.
My very first time drinking was in China.
China?
I think I was in like third grade. And he gave me alcohol, and then I was like, what? You're giving me alcohol? And then I looked at my mom, she's like, drink it. And I'm like, what? You're letting me drink alcohol? And I drank like a tiny bit, and I gave it right back to my uncle. I hated it. Second time drinking was also in China. I forgot when it was, but I just remember we were all at a dinner table one, and then my uncle brought out like 2 6-packs of like Guinnesses, and then he was like, okay, so Derek, you are not allowed to drink any type of juice, any type of water during dinner today. This is what you're drinking. And I just drank a lot of that, a lot of Guinness. That's actually where I started liking Guinness. Guinness is my favorite beer. So yeah, those are my first 2 drinking experiences. And then other than that, I started drinking like what, junior year of high school. and that was just like the cheap Bacardi stuff, and then the gallons of vodka. I forgot what they're called. Ugh. But you do what you gotta do to get out, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so how about what's your favorite and least favorite drink? Alcoholic drink.
Least favorite Bacardi. I can't do Bacardi anymore. Bacardi is I smell it and I die. I smell it and I want to throw up. Second least favorite probably I don't really have a second favorite, but my favorite is any. Right now, I'm really liking. I'm just trying all the Jamesons. The stout edition is pretty good,
Okay.
and then the black Jameson Black is also good. If you ever tried Angel Wings, I tried that recently. Good as well, but it's pretty expensive. Yeah, Japanese whiskey is also aged single barrel one. I don't think so. This one.
Stout. Okay, and what type of drunk are you?
Sleepy one.
Sleepy drunk?
Yeah. I'll get tired really fast, but like before I get tired,
Jinx Sinless cheered. X100.
No, it's pretty. I don't know. You'd have to ask. I think I'm talkative. I don't know. Honestly, ask Kisala. I think she knows.
It's Sunday cheered. X101.
I actually like the stout edition the best. It's pretty good.
Okay, let's move on to talk about some of your other interests. Are you big on anime, TV shows, movies?
Anime and TV shows. I think the main like constantly go back to is Criminal Minds.
Mm-hmm.
I love Criminal Minds, but yeah, I'm an anime watcher. Sometimes K-drama, but anime watcher definitely.
Let's do a top 5 anime and top 5 shows separately.
Oh man. Okay, my favorite anime. Hitman Reborn, because it was my first anime, and it's my favorite anime. Hitman Reborn is fire. Starts off slow, but Hitman Reborn. If anybody's not watched it yet, give it a chance. Okay, give it a chance up until episode 50. I promise you. You'll love it. Okay. Number 1. Number 2. Damn. I'm just gonna name anime I like because I don't think I can rate them from like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Top 5.
Okay, so I really liked Erase, the Netflix one. Was it Netflix one? No, maybe not. But Erase was really good. Recently, Tokyo Revengers, amazing. Attack on Titan, amazing. Let me just.
Okay, you got 4 so far.
Whatchamacallit? I'm a One Piece kind of guy. One Piece is great. I really like Dr. Stone. If anyone watched that, A Silent Voice, the movie was pretty good. Time I got reincarnated as a slime is like my kind of guilty pleasure. It's just lighthearted. Oh wait, I forgot Hunter x Hunter. Y'all gotta watch that shit. Hunter x Hunter is amazing.
Dang, okay. And like 8 like it.
I can keep going. And I can name it all. Violet Evergarden's pretty good too. Oh, Air Gear, pretty good. There's another one. Um, there was another one. I forgot the name. Damn. Hmm.
Yeah, you don't have to stress over it. You already named like a lot.
True.
How about
Oh,
TV shows?
if anyone likes a biking anime, Yowamushi Pedal is pretty. TV shows. I'm a Friends kind of guy. I like Criminal Minds. What other TV shows have I watched? TV shows. Yep. Criminal Minds. You could always gotta rewatch that shit. Blind Spot. I watched Blind Spot. That was okay. I've also watched Bone.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone's watched that, a lot of like kind of criminal type stuff.
Yeah.
They're all pretty interesting. Breaking Bad, of course. Breaking Bad. That was always good.
Nice. We got Breaking Bad, Friends, Criminal Minds, Blind Spot, and Bones. Some of the shows that you can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
How to Get Away with Murder. Yeah, that one.
Nice.
How to Get Away with Murder is pretty nice. Suits, yes. Oh, White
Caller?
White Collar. White Collar is pretty nice too.
Yeah, okay. Favorite artist and favorite song?
I don't really have a favorite artist. I've never really got into like like that. It's more of like if it's
It's like what?
if
Sorry, you
it
cut out.
sounds good. If it sounds good, I like it.
Oh, okay.
So it's like I'm not very picky when it comes to, though I do like a lot of like older songs. I'm not too much into rapping, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it sounds good, I like it, but like I never really got in like very into that aspect of music. So like, the old Jason Mraz, Backstreet Boys, always good. Rocketeer, Disney songs, great, love it, amazing.
Okay. Now let's transition over to other social life aspects. Okay, talk about all the relationships you've been in, like the romance part of your life in the beginning. You could tell stories, get into details, just give us like a good timeline.
Most of it was in I never really dated anyone from my school, but so you remember the IEF, like the thing I volunteered at where kids came over from
Mhm.
China?
Yep.
So my first relationship was a coworker there.
So middle school.
Yes.
Got it.
It was like distance, and it was hard, and then young, and then got cheated on. It
You got
was
cheated on?
yeah, I got cheated on in middle school. So yeah, well, I'm just gonna start off with this. Like, I got cheated on in every.
Sorry, you're cutting out.
Wait, let me try to disconnect and reconnect. Usually, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got cheated on in basically every single one of my relationships. Yeah.
Start
And
from
then
that first one.
after that, it was ninth grade.
Wait. Before you get into that, what was the story? How'd you find out?
Social media.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very sad. It wasn't very long, so I was like, but it sucks nonetheless. Second one was in high school, ninth grade. My Chinese school. Another volleyball teacher. She was my age. Kind of hit it off, I guess. We started dating, and then like 2 months in, I got ghosted. And then fast forward another month. So I got ghosted. She blocked me on everything, and then I was like, it never really left my mind. I was like, why, right? And then so I I made another Facebook, and then she moved on. No, I was a volleyball teacher too, Katia. Get out. But yeah, I don't really enjoy talking about much of a relationship, so like I try to block it out. So if there's not much detail, that's why. I don't remember most of it.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine, man.
Find out through social media with her too. Third one, also in high school. How did we meet? We met through mutual friends. All watched a movie together and then started texting a lot. And then I found out through the same mutual friend that she was cheating on me the entire time. So
How long was this?
don't remember. Not too long. None of them were very long. And then and now it's Kisala. So after that, like it was just like I tried it and then it was like, yeah, I'm just gonna give up on relationships. I do not want relationships right now. It's just not it. And yeah.
So, talk about how you transition from that mindset to give it another shot, and then talk about like how it happened, current relationship.
How it happened? Okay, so I met Kisala through Cookie Stream. We were just viewers in the beginning. So like at that time I was also working at Staples, so I couldn't join Discord as much. So after I stopped, I started I started going on Discord more, and then talking to Kisala more, and then it just sort of just like happened. We were just vibing, and we were able to talk for a pretty long time, and then one day we were gonna do a workout with Monk. It was me, Ash, Kisala, and Monk. But like it fell through. But I called Ash and Kisala to see like were they in VC or something like that I couldn't see. Did I need to be dragged? And then Ash said no. Can we ban Katia for like a second? And then Kisala called back as well. And then after that call, we were on call for a very long time. I think we were on call for, what was it, like, I don't even remember, like 14 hours or something like that. And then yeah, from then on it's just we basically talked every day. We're on call every night. Woke up every morning together, and I was like, yeah. Did that for like, I don't remember a lot. It just time flies.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I was the one who asked her out. How my mindset changed was just like, it just felt natural, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're like able to constantly talk to someone for that long, is like, and not get like bored, you know. So yeah.
Tia's asking for more details. I like it.
Katia knows more details already. She just wants me to tell everyone else.
It means your podcast is whatever you want to tell.
Exactly.
Is
You hear
your life
that?
story.
You hear that, Katia? It's my podcast.
So you're saying you don't want to give us the details?
What? You'd have to ask some questions.
Like specifics? What is Katia talking about in regard to the late night talks? And what do they know?
It was like basically so since we started talking, it was like, I think they're like, it's been like 3-4 months. So since we started talking, right?
Yeah.
But like during that time, I don't think there were like 2 days where we didn't sleep on call. Basically, we're just basically always on call right now. I don't know what other more details that she wants me to tell.
Details on how you asked.
Details on how I asked. I was like, yo, I was nervous, right? I was like, yo, should I just be crazy for a little bit? Should I just go crazy? And she was like, yeah, sure.
Wait, so you planned this mentally? Like, you're like, I might.
No. I literally, I kind of planned. No, it was like spontaneous at the time.
Okay.
And then I was like, I was like, should I just go a little crazy? And she was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, hey, go out with me. That's about it.
I mean, in that tone or what?
No, I was like, yo, want to go out with me? Want to be my girl? And then she was like, she was surprised too. She didn't think I was gonna ask. And then she was like, after a pause, she's like, yeah. When did you realize you wanted to ask me? I don't know, Thea. Maybe because like we were talking constantly, 24/7, and then I was like, I like this girl a lot. So
So you said she
yeah,
paused a bit.
just pause for a second because it was
Were
just
you like,
really random.
yeah, were you just like so nervous to like hear her response or what?
No, I mean, I was preparing for a no, so
Oh,
yeah, I was genuinely preparing for a no because um I didn't think she liked me, but she did, so it was nice.
then you guys actually planned a meetup, right? So I want to talk
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
briefly about that. How
Yeah,
it went.
so it was a lot of failed attempts actually. We were gonna meet up earlier, and then that fell through. Um, it was supposed to be like a week trip with her friends as well, and then it just fell through, and we were like, that sucks. So after that, I was like, yo, I might as well just come over. And she was like, bet. So from then, I was like looking at like plane prices, where it would be cheaper, when should I come, and it was like we after I went September 13th to 17th for a week, and it was like the 1 week like we were both like pretty free. um we were able to like just chill together, because the week after that was like a lot of weddings and stuff like that. Up until now we're still kind of busy. She's studying for applying for things. I need to do my do my work, as well as like help my sister out with what she needs to do with planning engagement, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just basically chose a time that was free for both. That was like pretty free for both of us, and I got my ass over there.
What was that like being in her like city?
It was really exciting, actually. It was just like, I'm here now. It was a really odd feeling. It was like a good odd feeling. It was like, damn, I've only seen these places through Discord, but like I'm sitting right here, right now, you know.
Yeah.
And then, not gonna lie, saw her for the first time and kind of fanboyed a little bit. But like after that, it was pretty chill. It was really nice. We went out to eat, had sushi. Did you know they had deep fried sushi in Louisiana? I did not know that. It was okay. Um, we did a ghost pepper. We both really like spicy ramen, especially like the spicy ramen challenge one.
Mhm.
So we decided to try the ghost pepper ramen thing. I was dying, but we did that together. We um, went to LSU for a little bit. Um, oh, yo, Kisana's mad short. She probably goes up to my chin. Like the first time I saw her, I was like, God damn, you're short. But yeah, it was pretty nice. We went to like a lake, um, had some fried food. It was just really nice being there, honestly.
Nice. And yeah, asked earlier, how are you
Mhm.
guys currently handling the long distance?
It sucks. I think visiting her was both a blessing and a curse. Because then after we had to leave, it's just like, oh God, it's like I could be there right now, but I'm over here.
Yeah.
I've been there, but now I'm over here because I have to be here. It sucks, but we're getting through it.
That's good to hear. Stay strong, guys. Okay. The transitioning topics. So other than, I'm sure, like, you went through a tough time through those cheating relationships, right? How has your mental health been throughout your life? Do you ever feel like you were at a really, really low point? So how'd you overcome that? And what was it specifically?
I think throughout starting from college until like last year, it was just really tough. It was like I've struggled with depression before. A lot of anxiety, um, stemming from just like the relationships didn't help, but like also like didn't know where I was going, what I was doing. Just blank in the head. Just don't had no motivation whatsoever to do anything. Just sat in my room doing nothing. And then I think that's just stemming from like because I've always thought I was gonna go to college and just go through college like a normal kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think stopping, uh, stopping like officially going to college was like a big hit to my mental, and then I just like kind of gave up for a very long time. Still doing like trying to get through getting the credits we need, but like just not doing what I planned on doing in my head. So like even though I was still functioning, it was like every night I didn't smile much. Just went to my room, sat on my bed, stared blankly for like hours,
Mm-hmm.
doing nothing. And then I started gaming again after that. And it was just that helped with at least for a short amount of time while I was gaming, it just helped like, you know, be happy a little bit, be a little more happier. But
Yeah.
that's kind of just like a short term like short burst of fun, and then after that it's just back to like what the hell am I doing, right? And then it also kind of started me thinking like what the hell am I doing playing games like when I don't even know what I'm doing, right? I shouldn't even be doing that, but like at the same time it's like the one thing that also makes me a little bit happier, you know? So that was a struggle. um and then I stopped gaming for a little for because of that. um and then there was this after that I joined Twitch to just like watch people. And then well, I joined Twitch before but I stopped, and then I joined back recent. I forgot the dates, honestly. It's like I joined back 2020 around September-ish, and then I joined this friend group. I was That was really nice. Like actually having people to talk to, because at that time it was like I felt very alone. There's no one to really talk to besides my parents, right? But
Yeah.
like having friendships versus having parental figures is like two different things.
Mm-hmm.
So starting from that, they helped me out a lot. Just having someone to talk to about my problems, um, and just playing games at the same time. So from then on, I was like, okay, take what I have, take what I have and like run with it. Like, what can I do from here on, and just start planning to do what I need to do, right? Still took some time to like pull myself out of a ditch. And then eventually I moved out of my parents' house and I moved in with my sister. That helped a big deal. And then but like during this time it was just like you're getting a little better, and then you'd hit like a block and then just fall down again. It was like a constant like going up a few steps, falling back down, going up a few steps, falling back down. But like after that, I joined Cookie's community, and I do have to give thank you to Cookie's community. Big thank you to Sushi. Big thank you to Kati. Big thank you to Kisala. Like they really brought me up a lot. You know, they helped. Okay, I'm withdrawing Katia. They helped me out a lot. You know, like just moving forward, keep going. You know, this community also helped. It was just like this community, Cookie's community, Katia's community is like a lot of fun people. You know, I haven't laughed like this much, in a hot minute. You know, after joining, it was just like, I guess, happiness levels went up. I started laughing a lot more. So
Good. Awesome.
Pray God.
Okay, let's talk about what are your current goals and aspirations in life?
I just want to live a comfortable life, getting a comfortable job, living a comfortable life. My goal is just, earning enough money to like do what I want to do. Like, it doesn't have to be lavish, but like traveling around to different countries, trying different food, gotta love that. And I'm not like fancy cuisine, right? I don't really care for that. Like, just the cultural food, like hometown food for different people, from different places. I always like to try different things like that. Being able to sustain gaming, computer stuff, basically making enough money to live a happy, comfortable life.
Talked a bit about traveling. So talk about where you've been and where you want to go. Even talk about adventure.
Where I've been to Thailand, been to Canada, been to China, been to the Baltic Sea around that area. So I've been to Copenhagen, been to Russia on that part. I forgot what it was called, to be honest. Around the Baltic Sea.
Mm-hmm.
It was just as a kid, my parents would go on vacations and bring me along. So like it was like a family friend vacation. We would go travel. I used to go to China every other year to visit family. But the thing I regret the most is that kind of travel is want, because right now my main thing is like I want to travel and try different food. But as a kid, it was like I would go there and have like fried chicken wings, It's just like I didn't appreciate the food back then. So I really regret not experiencing stuff like that. So that's why I want to, even though I went to Thailand, even though I went to like different places like Copenhagen, I went to like Russia, I didn't try the food authentic to them, you know.
Yeah.
I went to Germany, like didn't try the food authentic to them. I just had things that I knew I liked
Mhm.
as a kid. So even though I went there, just want to go there again, to try, like actually try like their cuisine. More places I want to go. Korea definitely, Japan definitely. Those are the main two places. I want to go to Vietnam. I want to go to Thailand again. Most of the Asian cuisine first, you know. Yeah. I think yeah.
Hey.
Explore. I love food, so definitely want to try different food around the world.
Oh, what part of China is your family from, or do you
So
visit?
my dad is from Hanzhou, and my mom is from Jiaxing. So
Ah,
but when I do visit, I visit those places, and then sometimes visit Beijing, Shanghai.
pretty cool. Transition this. Let's talk about socials. Aside from Twitch, what are you currently using, and what's it like for you?
So I'm not very active on social media. I have an Instagram. I don't have Twitter. I have Facebook. I have a TikTok, but like I really just scroll through them for like memes. I don't really post much on Instagram before I met Kisala. Now all my posts are literally just me and Kisala. Just 3 posts so far. Facebook, don't really use it much anymore. Twitter, I never really got into Twitter. TikTok, I can scroll for hours, but I only scroll, you know. It's to me it's kind of just like an entertainment kind of pastime instead of like something I want to keep up, cuz I don't know, I just never felt like I had to post my life on like a social media platform, right? Like to me, one part of me is like, why would people care about that? Another me is like, why would I have, like, I don't really have to if I don't want to, you know. So yeah, that's about it.
So let's talk about Twitch now. You briefly touched up on how you met people, you know, through the community and stuff like that. So talk about your streaming experience. Like, how did you actually decide to start streaming, and what categories were you streaming?
I started streaming because of Kathia's nagging. She was like, "You have to start streaming. You should start streaming. You should start streaming." So I started streaming. Um, I guess you can say thanks to Kathia. Um, I stream just games. I never really did it just chatting. It was just me gaming. It was either Apex or Valorant, one of those two. Never really streamed anything else. um, but for me, I think after I streamed a few, it's just like, yeah, I enjoy streaming, but at the same time, it was just a lot more pressure to stream. Um, or like pressure to entertain, because like when you see like your chat not going or no one's really chatting in chat, it's just like, like, am I really doing a good job? Is there really a point in me streaming? Because I'm not streaming for like the money, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I have so many friends that can stream. um uh I'd rather just play with them on stream and be content for them while they do what they do normally during stream as well, than stream myself, because it's just like a lot. There's no pressure in that, and it's just like I like you know. Well, for me, it's like I'm kind of like the clown. I kind of just like my humor is like kind of just self-deprecating humor, but also like banning Kathia humor. But like I don't know. I just enjoy being on other people's stream more than streaming myself. Um like I guess like as a support role instead of being the main streamer. It's just I guess it also comes down to like I'm also very much an introvert. I really just I feel it kind of feels awkward when the camera's on me, and then like it feels awkward like me being on my stream and having to do everything else as well being the streamer, when I can just be on someone else's stream. And it's just like I don't know how to say it. It's a more comfortable feeling not being the one streaming
Got it.
for me.
So with that being said, does that mean you don't plan on streaming anytime soon, or what?
No, I'll definitely stream once in a while. Streaming is still fun to me. It's just like it can't be a constant thing for me. It's just gonna bring me back down. And at the same time, like I'm also working on it at the moment, so I don't.
Yeah. No schedule.
No schedule, basically. Yeah.
Okay, talk about some of your favorite memories on Twitch, or even favorite streams.
Favorite streams. I think one of my favorite streams has to be like coming from either Don or Hobbs. Hobbs, do you know them at all? Hello Hobbs and Donbury.
Uh-huh.
Don's stream is always entertaining. It's just it's always entertaining to watch. It's great.
Oh, you're talking about their streams. Oh,
Yeah.
I meant your personal experience.
My personal experience. Oh, I hated all of my streams. The one that got the most views, I guess, was the Waluigi stream, where I cosplayed as Waluigi.
Ooh, okay.
It was pretty funny. Hobbs clipped something where like I had a mental breakdown in the bathroom, but it was really just because Hobbs told me to, because I needed to go to the bathroom, and Hobbs told me to do the Waluigi wah in the bathroom for as long as my piss came out. So I did that. It was just it was really funny. It was great. I had a good time. Though would I do it again? Probably not, but I had a good time.
Nice. Love to hear it.
Wah. Wah. Waluigi.
Hey, good. Okay, so let's talk about the opposite now. Have you ever encountered trolls or hate on Twitch?
For my stream, no.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad for that, honestly. But like, I don't think I was ever streaming enough for that to actually happen, you know?
Okay.
But like, I guess the trolls come in when like you do, like if you have like a Twitch in your name for a game, you do something that's like kind of quote unquote looked down upon, or like kind of like, bro, why are you camping type shit. And it's like they come into your channel like, bro, imagine this, imagine that, or something like that. I never really did that, because when I was playing Apex, I kind of just like ran it down, you know? So I never really encountered that, which is pretty nice. Hope I never do. Well, considering that I'm only going to stream once in a while, I doubt I really ever will. So yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned how streaming has helped you on a mental level based on the people you met and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But how would you say being a part of Twitch and streaming has changed you as a person?
It just made me it just made me happier. Like I said before, like just because meeting them, playing with people I met, it just made me happier. Because it made me feel less alone, even though it's like through like the internet and shit. But like it brought me back to like having friends, I guess, in elementary, middle school,
Mhm.
where I didn't feel alone. It brought me back to that time. It just made me feel happier. Mm.
Okay, so briefly talking about Valorant, because I don't play Apex.
Bet.
Who do you think is the best agent in the game and the worst?
Best agent in the game. My personal opinion, or like,
Yeah.
I think the best agent in the game right now is Sky. Do I
Okay.
play her? No. Who I enjoy playing the most is Sage.
hmm
Just because I don't know. Sage has always been like my favorite. I like healing. I like support characters, and that was like my support role that I got into in the beginning. Worst agent. Mm, I don't know. Personally, I don't see the use in KO.
Okay.
That's just my personal opinion. It's just like, yeah, he has flashes, but like, why would you use KO when there is Sky?
Got it.
Yeah, so it's just like
Fair.
KO only on the idea of like Sky is such a good agent, like because you can gather intel just like KO, maybe not as easily as KO because you have to control the bird, but if you can play Sky, it's much more rewarding than KO. So I would say KO probably I think is the worst agent right now, but the agent I hate the most, either Reyna or Jet, to be honest. I hate them so much. I just hate them.
Yeah. Hey.
Not that I hate you, Wilson, because you played, but like sometimes it's just like, how are you there, bro? How are you there? How'd you get here so fast?
Let's do your favorite, or no, best gun in the game and the worst gun. Like
Best,
your opinion.
my favorite, or like my opinion, like
Your
actual
opinion
best
of
gun?
the actual best and worst.
Is it including the op?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, personally, I think the op is the best gun. It's a one-shot kill. But if we're going rifles, as much as it pains me to say it, the Phantom is the better rifle.
Okay.
The Phantom. Oh, the Phantom.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the Valorant. Not Valorant. I like the Vandal the best. Worst gun in the game. It's the Stinger. Maybe it's just because I don't know how to use the Stinger, but like I just can't with the Stinger. Like we have Vector where you can run a gun, Phantom you can run a gun, Vandal one, Guardian's accuracy, You have op, one shot kill. You have the sheriff. If you can aim, it's very good. Ghost as well. Classic has the right click. And the shotguns are just shotguns, you know? You hold the angle, make do with that, you know? But the Stinger is like you like, yeah, you can run a gun at the same time. The mag is the fire rate is so fast. It's like you run out so quickly. It's just, for me, it's like, why would I buy the Stinger out? Or the Marshall, sorry, the Marshall. So yeah, I think it's the Stinger.
Okay, so now rank your maps. Favorite to least favorite.
Least favorite is Fracture. Least favorite has got to be Fracture. My favorite map is probably my favorite map is Ascent, and then it's Bind, and then it's Haven, and then it's Split, and then it's Breeze. Am I missing anything else?
Icebox.
Icebox is actually after Breeze. Breeze, Icebox,
Fracture.
Fracture.
Okay. Very nice. Okay, now to finish the Twitch streaming talk, I'm gonna ask you about certain individuals. You tell me your first impressions and what you really think of them.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure you know who I'm gonna ask about. So let's start with Thea.
Ban her.
Let's talk about Kathia. So,
Ban.
first impression, how did this relationship build to where you guys are just always joking with her, you know? And why do you have that nickname?
Okay, so first impression, she was very friendly. It's just like she's always very upbeat, very friendly. So it was nice. It was a nice change. You don't really see people like Thea and Carl everywhere, where they is literally just a positive mentality everywhere, you know. So that was nice. And then I joined her stream one day, and then she was like, "What do I call you? What's your name? What do I call you? Names? What's your name?" I was like, "My name is Derek," and she's like, D. And then like they're trying to figure out what to call me. I forgot the other names, but eventually she decided on Day Day. So now I'm called Day Day by Kisala. I'm not Kisala, Katia. Kisala calls me Sphinx.
There you go. Story of yeah, and then how did this relationship turn into this where you guys are trolling her? Be specific.
I think it started from Sushi. Sushi streamer was just like ban her, and then we were all just like ban her. So
Perfect.
it was, yeah, it's definitely from Sushi.
This perfect transition. So the next person, Sushi. First impression and what's your relationship like?
He's very friendly. He's very supportive. Like he can well, first impression is like he's very funny. He's a very troll kind of guy. But after like, you know, talking to him more, he's like very supportive. You can always go for him for help. He's always open to friends. Somehow always knows what to say. So, you know, he's very nice, very knows where he wants to go, you know.
Third person that I had or have in mind, let's talk about Ash. First impression, relationship, and why your name is William.
Okay, so I first met Ash in Cookie Stream. Um, I think I was just chatting a lot, and then eventually we just started chatting together. And then like I chatted a lot at that time. She chatted a lot at that time, so became besties. Like hot bestie Ash, and then bestie Sphinx in the beginning, and then I think we were on Discord one day, or maybe it was in. Don't really remember when it was, but it was like I mentioned that I was going to be named William. Like it was between Derek and William, right?
Mhm.
For my parents, and I was named Derek, and she's like, William? Nah, 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 nah. I'm William. Yeah, William became my name for her.
I see.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, she's great. Love Ash. Love the energy. Um, amazing friend. She's the one I play Wizard 101 with.
Nice. Okay, so you told me the other day that you don't really remember, but I'm still gonna ask you anyways. How did you come up with your username?
So I
Two
thought about it
Sphinx.
after.
Uh-huh.
I started about it after. The Sphinx came from um the oh, when I first created my Twitch, it was when I was studying for history. So Sphinx, because it was we're Sphinx pyramids, you know. I was literally in the middle of studying, and I said I need a break, and I created my name, and it was just Sphinx. And then eventually, I watched the anime where I forgot what it's called, but it was like Sphinx number 9, Sphinx. What anime was that?
What are you trying to describe?
What do you mean?
Sounds kind of familiar.
Terror in Resonance, the anime. And then it was like the name was Sphinx. They called them, the terrorists called themselves Sphinx. So it was like I just chose Sphinx number 9. So Sphinx and 9 for a little bit.
Mhm. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then the 2iq came from because the 2iq came because like I make a lot of dumb moves in games. So it's like I'm literally 2iq. So I just added that. So I changed my name because in the from the Sphinx and 9 to like 2iq Sphinx, the TOOEYE Q,
Yeah.
and then I didn't I didn't um I didn't add the Sphinx for that one, but I changed that because Hobbs was imagine having a number ha 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 in Cookie's chat, and I was like, "Are you coming after me?" He's like, change it. I'm like, bet, and I changed it on the spot to 2iq, and then after that, like the 2iq kind of I liked it, so it stuck. So I added 2iq Sphinx, and this is how I came with 2iq Sphinx.
Very nice, very nice. Let's we're gonna move on to the final few questions. Okay.
Bet.
What would you consider as your greatest pet peeve?
Disrespectful people. Like just disrespectful people in general. So for example, like for like in school, like students who like disrespect the teacher for no reason. Like even if you don't like a teacher, just sit in class and just I guess just don't make a problem when there is no problem. You know? Don't just randomly walk out the classroom. That's just so disrespectful. They're trying to teach you, you know? It's just disrespectful actions in general. It's just pisses me off.
Okay, how about greatest fear?
Heights. I am deathly afraid of heights. Um, though I do love roller coasters, which is really weird, but I love roller coasters. It's just when I'm at the top, I'm like shit in my pants, but the roller coaster itself is fun. You know
Mhm.
those glass bridge, like glass bridges. Sometimes some places have in like it's like the Grand Canyon, for example. That
Yeah.
I can't. I'll die. I'll sit on the glass. I won't move. I'll scoot. I can't. I cannot do it. It is no. I'm gonna die. Yeah.
Okay,
Biggest fear probably heights.
let's do. What is your best trait and skill? What would you consider?
My best skill is being able to learn something, the at least the basics of something pretty fast. I've a lot of people have said this to me before, like before. It's just when I learn something, I learn basics very fast. I
Mhm.
think that's a very decent skill to have.
That's
But
good.
I don't know. I don't know any good traits for me.
Okay.
I guess I can listen to rants pretty well. Like if anyone needs to rant, I'll listen.
What would you consider as your greatest accomplishment and greatest failure or regret in life?
Failure regret is probably not just focusing in school and, getting into getting into stupid things, rebelling a little bit. Like I wish I just, put my head down and just continued. I think that's my biggest regret. Just not focusing enough. What was the first one though?
Accomplishment.
Accomplishment. I mean, recently getting into this course was pretty big accomplishment. Going through the interview processes and then going through the intro course and passing it, and then
Mhm.
being able to get into the advanced course. I think that's a pretty small accomplishment, but like an accomplishment I haven't had in a while. So it felt pretty good.
Okay. Okay, last three questions. What was your first impression of me?
Mad chill, very friendly. Because like you would just hop into a sushi streaming, and like you'd always support people while you're streaming as well. You always have like their streams up and stuff. It's like very supportive, very nice. And then like I would look at your YouTube channel. It's like dedicated to what you're doing. So
Thank you.
nice, very nice, very nice. I respect it a lot.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Committed, yes, very committed.
Okay, let's do top 5 humors that you find yourself watching.
Pull up my Twitch real quick. Okay. Let's see. Wilson Chang. Hello Hobbs. I've been watching Umami recently, decent amount. I haven't been in Don's stream a lot, but Don,
Mhm.
I watched Cookies a lot. Oh, he's streaming right now, bro. What? Okay. Give me a look. Cookies. Um, yeah, I think. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, on to the last question. So, using your connection, who
Mhm.
would you like to see as a future guest on this podcast and why?
Personally, I want to see Sushi on this podcast. Sushi or Katia or Carl.
Okay.
So I think Sushi and Katia, just because like I think it'd be cool to like learn more in detail, I guess, to learn about them.
Mm-hmm.
And also I feel like Sushi has a lot to say. I feel like Katia would just keep talking, a lot of entertainment, you know. Those two would be my top two, Sushi and Katia.
Oh. Does anyone else have any final questions for Sphinx while he's on? Oh, by the way, Kasala's podcast, we haven't had it yet, but she's gonna be our guest on Thursday. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
Woo.
Tune in.
Yeah, if you guys have a question, feel free to ask.
When's the next cosplay? Okay, Dark. Okay.
Talking a lot of good thing or bad thing?
It's a good thing.
Oh, it's
I think it'd be
Darlene's
really
birthday.
funny.
Happy birthday, Darlene!
birthday.
Wow, China was here like 10 minutes ago or something.
How much did that fan cost? Like $60, I think. It was from Costco, so.
Okay. I'll at least close this out for the YouTube portion of this whole podcast segment. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been the Chang Gang Podcast, episode 30, featuring Derek, aka 2iqsphinx. Thanks, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I hope this was a good experience for you.
Yes. Thank you for having me on here.
Of course. Alright guys, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And we'll leave it up to Sphinx to give us an outro. Final words, final thoughts.
Outro, that's my... Yo, sub to Wilson on Twitch too. Twitch Prime.
Okay. Alright, thanks. Alright, that's it. We're good. Cut.